The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, UNU Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second inaugural, not inaugural anymore because it's the second, inaugural would be for first, but welcome to the second episode of Podcast University. I am your host, Harrison Cohn, and with always is my Fritos loving partner, Benjamin Kaizel. What up, Benny? How's it going?
Good, Harry. I'm good. How finals going for you?
You know what? Finals are a little rough, and I'm happy you talked about that because later we're going to get into some of the performance-enhancing drugs that are kind of associated with finals. But we're kind of starting today's episode on a little somber of a mood. Do you want to know why, Ben?
Why?
What we are doing is we're going to have a funeral for our friend Lucas and his Instagram account. Now, most of you don't know Lucas. Most of our listeners, I'm not sure who knows Lucas, but what you guys are going to understand right now is you're going to be able to connect with his difficulties. This week, Lucas's Instagram account was, shall I say, flooded with a plethora of penises and porn videos. And there's an HBO special where Louis C.K. on HBO talks about a bag of dicks is 20 different penises. So we could say that Lucas had about 3 bags of dicks on his Instagram. And we really think this is kind of the end of his Instagram. What do you think, Benny?
I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure if he's been hacked or not. Louis has been my best friend since I was about 5 years old, and he's always been interested in being part of the adult film industry. So
that
mentioned that, I wouldn't be so sure.
Well, Ben, that was actually my next question. Do you think that Lucas was under the guise of saying that hackers posted porn on his Instagram, but this is actually a segue for him to get involved into the adult video industry?
Exactly. That's what I think. I think he's trying to get in there quietly. I don't know. I think he's saying it's a hack, but I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh, but you know what it was? It wasn't like porn that you pay for, right? It was very low quality porn, and I was kind of upset with Lucas because I go,
you have to start somewhere.
I understand, but if you're going to be making your porn public to your 300 followers and your family, because your family follows you on Instagram, at least have higher quality porn, right? Don't have that horrible stuff that Lucas was posting on his page.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Actually, one of my friends showed me a screenshot of his text messages with his mother, and his mom was very worried about Lucas's Instagram. She saw the porn that he posted, and she was very confused. And I guess she didn't think it was like Louis to do that. So,
well, that's a really good point because I heard people not only at Gettysburg University and Melbourne Short Hills were really affected by his invasion of porn on his Instagram, but people all around the globe were affected. So what Ben and I are doing, and we are really doing this out of the goodness of our heart, and we think this is going to be really beneficial to society, is we're creating a hotline where we're going to allow people to come on and talk about how Lucas posting hundreds of porn videos in an 18-hour span and how it affected them. And we're going to try to talk people through that and try to help people understand how to live with what they witnessed.
Harry, I missed what you said at the end there. Sorry.
Well, Ben, your connection may be poor, which I'm not very happy about. But you know what? We're going to settle all of our disputes on air. So your Wi-Fi is one that maybe we will get into a debate on later on.
I think it's you in Bloomington, Indiana. But we should mention that this is our last show, actually, that's going... On Sunday, Harrison's going to come home to New Jersey, so we're going to be together, and our connection issues won't be a thing anymore, and I'm excited about that.
We're very excited. So, Ben, what I was saying, and I will repeat this to our listeners, because it really is something important. So maybe you're just pretending that you didn't hear it because you wanted me to repeat it. So what we're doing is we're creating a hotline for anyone that felt that they were hurt, shamed, affected with all of Lucas's posts on Instagram.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and now that we've talked about Lucas's...
It affected a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, I'm probably down $600 in therapy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sue him and try to get reimbursed for that therapy, but I spent a lot of money on a therapist to try to talk me through what I witnessed.
What do you think about Lucas's tactic? Did you see his Facebook post apologizing and asking people if they knew how to contact Instagram and how to delete his account? Did you see that?
Well, so Ben, instead of focusing on Lucas, because not many of our listeners know Lucas, let's broaden this, right? What would you suggest to people whose accounts, so-called, I'm using quotations here, you guys can't see, get hacked by an abundance of pornographic material? What would you suggest to them? Because you're someone who's familiar with the porn industry, you watch a lot of it, and you know a lot of it. What would you suggest to someone who gets involved in a situation like this?
You have two options. You either have to roll with it, or you have to just delete your account. And Lucas is kind of being in between, so he's handling it as poorly as you can. But in general, you should either roll with it, or you should delete your account immediately.
And that is coming from a porn expert, so you guys know that is credible. I will promise you that information is credible. You could ask Ben any type of porn, any category, he knows everything. But let's go on to some of the fan mail that we received from last week's episode, Ben.
Alright, cool.
So, last week we did an episode and we told people that if you had any issues, and we send this through emails, through text, through MySpace, LinkedIn, all different forums, that if you had any complaints or issues with last week's episode, send us an email and we'll read it out there. And Ben, I hate to say it, but I got some pretty negative reviews about you.
I don't believe it.
Well,
I'm perfect on air.
I'm going to read this one. This one is, Hey, Podcast University, really liked last week's episode, but Ben was saying that he was in love with Eva Longoria. Doesn't Ben have a girlfriend? Isn't that going against your belief of the integrity of a relationship? How can I trust a word that you guys say when you guys preach integrity of a relationship, but Ben is actively talking about wanting to be away from his girlfriend? And this was from Jordan. Ben, any response to that?
We absolutely preach integrity here at Podcast University. Let me clarify my remarks. I didn't say that I was currently in love with Eva Longoria. I said she was a childhood crush of mine. I don't know, that's not exactly what I said, but that was the gist of it. And that's what I meant by that. I still preach integrity, and we always practice what we preach here. So if I sound like I was contradicting myself, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Ben, I actually earlier tonight I got a text from your girlfriend, and I'm really sorry that I'm about to have to embarrass you on air like this, but she sent me a photo of your toothbrush, and it was an electric toothbrush, an Oral-B Pulsar battery-powered toothbrush, and you said that anyone who uses electric toothbrush is lazy, so I am going to have to call you lazy.
You're absolutely throwing me under the bus here, and it's really not true. I don't have an electric toothbrush. My toothbrush is a purple. I don't know what brand it is, but it's a regular toothbrush. I'll send a picture to you after the show. I'll post it on our Twitter account to verify this information. My girlfriend probably just took a picture of some random electric toothbrush and sent it to you. Have you thought about that?
Ben, maybe if you brush your teeth some more, you would know what kind of toothbrush you had.
I just went to the dentist. They said I had great teeth, so I'm very happy about that.
They said you had great teeth?
Great teeth, yeah.
Great teeth, but horrible connection on air.
No, it's your connection.
I really don't think it's mine, but let's go on to my favorite song. Actually, came out this weekend. My favorite song of all time, and it's called "I'm the One." "I'm the One" features DJ Khaled, Assad Khaled, Chance the Rapper, and Migos and Lil Wayne, and I'm a huge fan of the song. What do you think, Ben?
Not Migos. Not Migos. It's just Quavo. It's not the whole group. Right?
Well, they're all in the music video.
Alright, we're getting a call here.
Oh, we're getting a call? Put them through.
Hello, this is Ben and Harry. What's up?
This is Brett from New Jersey.
Hey, Brett. How's it going? What's up?
It's going really well. I actually had a question for Harry.
Hey, Brett. How's it going, man?
So, last week on the podcast, you guys were talking about a lot of the issues with the elevator boy industry, and I just wanted to really thank you guys for speaking up, as I'm an elevator boy, and I actually was laid off work a few weeks ago due to some of the layoffs with the elevator boy industry.
Oh, Brett, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Are there any questions that you have for us?
Yeah, I was actually wondering what you guys thought about the one floor rule.
In the one floor rule, are you talking about the rule where someone only takes the elevator up one floor?
Yeah, that's the rule.
All right, Brett. We're gonna hang up on you, but we're gonna answer that question. So, Brett brings up a really good point in the one floor rule, and that's something that I'm actually talking to my congressman about making some legislation regarding the one floor rule. And I really think that people should not be taking the elevator up one floor, as if it's one floor, you should be walking. And I spent a lot of time calling my congressman. A lot of people say call your congressman to have them make a different vote on health care. Call your congressman to have them prevent building the wall. But I'm calling my congressman to ensure that there will be a federal mandate that's restricting people from taking the elevator up one floor. Ben, what do you think about this?
Harry, you know we've had endless conversations about this. It's a heated debate here at Podcast University whether you go up on the elevator just one floor. I think it's totally okay because you have the right to do whatever you want, and what happens if you have a sore foot or you're injured or something like that?
So, Ben, that's a really good point, but I bring up 2 points. One, you're not saving anyone time. You're causing everyone a lot of time, a lot of angst when you're taking the elevator up one floor. And also, America has an obesity problem, and I think it can be solved with the one floor plot. I think it can be solved with the one floor legislation. And I'm going to give you an example, Ben. A good friend of mine, his name was Ben Kaizel, right? A good friend of mine, Ben Kaizel, when he was younger, used to be a little chubby, used to be a little chunky. He was one of those kids who went to school and everyone had one Lunchable, but Ben had 3 Lunchables. And he'd have the Lunchables with the extra cheese, and everyone was like, Ben, will you share? He's like, no, this is all for me. So what Ben's parents said to him is they go, Ben, instead of taking the elevator, why don't you just walk up the floors? And I swear to you, my good friend Ben Kaizel probably lost 20 pounds within a 3-month span. And a lot of people always credit Jared for showing that you could walk to Subway for losing weight. But Ben showed that you could do it with elevators and you could do it without being a pedophile.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely wasn't a pedophile. Thanks for that. But it wasn't just that. First of all, when I was little, I used being chubby to my advantage. That's how I got my nickname Bartolo, as everyone knows. Everyone underestimated me in sports because I was fat as hell. So I think I used it to my advantage. But the elevator issue, I don't know what to think about it, Harry.
All right, that's a really good take, man. Thanks for giving our viewers a different viewpoint.
Well, basically, what I'm trying to say is, when I was younger, I thought the one floor elevator thing. I don't know, just no.
Well, it did help you a lot. You have to admit that.
When I was younger, but now I've changed my mindset has changed. I think you should be able to go on the elevator. It's all good.
And no one heard a word you just said. You have to repeat that.
I said that when I was younger, I didn't believe in the one floor. I believe that you had to use the stairs to go up just one floor, but now I disagree. I think you should be able to use the elevator, even if you're just going up one floor.
Okay, this is definitely a debate that we're going to be continuing on, and I promise you, I will not stop fighting until this is a federal rule. That is my declaration. I will not stop fighting, and you guys can hold me to it. If you guys see me take an elevator up one floor, you have the right to heckle me. Don't touch me, because I don't want to be touched in the elevator, because no one wants to be touched in the elevator. It's weird, whatever. But you can heckle me. You can heckle me. Before Brett from New Jersey called us, we were going to get to some questions that we got from a lot of our fans, and we got some questions from AD and Brandon, and we just want to let you know that we have questions from our viewers that we're going to be tackling later, and you guys are going to want to stay tuned to one of Brandon's questions. It's a little vulgar, a little PG-13.
I'm excited for this new segment. I like the fact that we're asking our listeners to ask us questions.
Well, you know what? We're an interactive community. We consider Podcast University not only Harrison and Ben, but we consider it a family. That's our whole mentality, that with Podcast University, you have a home. Yes, the home may be on the radio, but you have a home. Whenever you feel lost, you will be found with Podcast University. And I want to create that environment that for
if
anyone
you're feeling
in
lost,
distress.
If you're feeling lost, just email me and Harry, and we'll guide you home.
Yeah, I mean, I have a really bad sense of direction, so I probably won't be able to guide you home, but
you do.
I'll be able to guide you to a better place.
Quick story. Harrison was at my house last summer. A bunch of guys. We live in the same town. Our town probably 10 minutes to drive through the entire town. Me and Harrison live about 5 minutes away from each other if you're driving. And Harry was at my house. When he was leaving, he asked my friend to drive him home because he didn't know how to get to his house from my house. So his sense of direction is terrible.
Your sense of direction. Ben, did you get my Snapchats this morning?
I got one. You at the gym grinding.
Yeah, so I was up at 6:30 a.m. this morning. This is my finals week, and I was up 6:30 a.m., and I'm at the gym alone. I'm in my tank top, and my tank top's actually one of the tank tops where you rip the sides off to give the illusion that you have muscles, right?
I don't know if you can pull that look off.
I think I tricked a lot of people that I had muscles, but I'm pretty good at pull-ups. So I was in the gym at 6:30 this morning grinding push-ups. And yeah, that was about it. So I was working out, and so the shirt I was wearing, Ben, do you happen to know what my shirt said?
I believe it said Pied Piper.
It did say Pied Piper, and Ben, if I was to give you a multiple choice of shows that Pied Piper was connected to, what would you say? Would you say it's Silicon Valley, Westworld, Boardwalk Empire, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Silicon Valley.
You are correct. It is Silicon Valley, and you're a big fan of Silicon Valley. I wanted to know your take on the first 2 episodes.
I like the new season so far. There's been 2 episodes. They've both been very good. I really like the beginning. We're getting another call, Harry.
Put him through.
All right. Hello, this is Ben and Harry. What's up?
Hi, I have a quick question.
Harry, can you hear?
Yeah, who is this?
Who's calling?
Drew from New Jersey.
Drew from New Jersey.
Drew from New Jersey. It sounds a lot like my brother, Drew from New Jersey.
Yeah.
While you were still grinding.
Say that again. Sorry.
True that you fell off the treadmill while you were grinding, Harry?
Hear that, Harrison? He asked is it true when you were grinding in the gym if you fell off the treadmill?
So, I am about to make a revelation to my viewers. Drew, Ben, you can hang up.
Drew, thanks for calling.
Yeah,
we'll
thanks for calling, Drew.
Right now.
Yeah, don't you have some homework? I mean, the kid doesn't know homework. He's a senior in high school, and I think he's done 2 hours of homework.
He's already committed to college. Isn't that true? So he doesn't need to be doing. Yeah,
he is committed to college, but I don't think he did work junior year either. But
well wishes to Drew.
Yeah, average wishes to Drew. So Drew brought up a point that I've actually been scared to talk about on air, and this is going to be the first time about me talking about it on air. And a lot of people would equate what I'm about to do right now as to people coming out of the closet on Ellen DeGeneres' show. This is very similar to that.
Okay, so, let me hear it.
About 4 months ago, I went to the gym. It was probably about 4 p.m. afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern time. There were 2 girls on the treadmill, one to my left, one to my right, some people behind me. I was going 8.5, going pretty quick. On
good pace.
So there's TVs on both the treadmill and there's a main TV behind the treadmill. And I thought I could put on one of my shows on my treadmill and then put on ESPN on the main TV. What I didn't realize is that while I tried to watch 2 shows at once and change the channels, I would forget about using my legs. So what transpired...
Multitasking is an issue. Our society, I think.
So what transpired, and this is something that still haunts me to this day, is I fell off the treadmill with both of my knees, and my knees are scraped up, and no one even acknowledged me. Not even laughed at me, not even asked me if I was okay, not even said, "Whoa, nice fall," or "Whoa, are you okay?" None of that, and I was pretty upset about it. And I was bleeding, and I walked out of the gym upset, and I really thought my family was not going to be the one to force me to tell that on air, but yeah, there it is. That is an experience that really changed my viewpoint on treadmills.
I'm sorry to hear that, but my first question is, I know you're a pretty tough dude. Did you get back up and continue working out, or did you leave the gym immediately?
So, I got back up, I did about 7 pull-ups, then I left the gym. I thought maybe it would be cool to the people who saw me fall off the treadmill. Let me get my voice back up. That was my sad voice. I thought it would be cool. That was your
dramatic voice.
Yeah, that was my dramatic voice. That's what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, so I thought it would be cool that, whoa, this handsome guy just got off the treadmill and he went to go do pull-ups. But, yeah, no one really seemed to recognize it.
The fact that no one even, the fact that no one recognized it makes it more embarrassing, I think. Like, if people, laughed, I think it would have been okay. You probably would have joined in. But the fact that no one laughed and no one even asked you if you were okay, it makes the situation a lot worse for you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if Mike, the situation was there, he would help me out, because him and I tanned and did laundry earlier, so we GTL pretty hard together. Ooh, poor joke. Did not go over well. You know what? You hit some, you miss some. There's a 400 batter in baseball, so I'm okay with that.
All right, we're getting another call.
Well, let's hold off for, actually, pick up, we're going to put him on hold. Find out who, pick up and say, I'm sorry, but we're going to put you on hold for 2 minutes.
All right. Okay. Cool.
So, Ben, I really think that I would have been able to handle this multitasking better if I was on some performance-enhancing drugs such as Adderall, Vyvanse, Concerta, or Ritalin. And this week, my finals week at school, there is a crazy rate of these type of drugs. And I wanted to know what you thought about these drugs in society, and do they really make a difference? And are they as present as your school as they are at Indiana?
Yeah, they're definitely a huge thing in college. It's a huge advantage to have if you can access Adderall or any of those, any drugs like that. I would compare it to steroids in baseball for academics, though.
So, how many kids do you think are actually prescribed to Adderall, and how many kids are buying it off the, shall I say, I don't like to use the word black market because I don't see race, but how many kids do you think are buying it off the green market?
That's tough to say, but I would say, if I had to guess, 25% of the kids are prescribed. The rest of them are buying from people who have prescriptions or people who somehow access it.
Okay. And what do you think the price of selling it is? Is it overpriced? And what is your performance enhancement drug of choice?
I think it's like $5 a pill. Is that what it is for you too?
Well, Ben, I'm actually pretty disappointed in you. As a Jewish citizen, you are required to be a good negotiator. So, you should never accept that first price, Ben.
Well, you can always buy in bulk and get it cheaper. Isn't that right?
Well, Ben, I'm also currently on the phone with the DEA, and I just reported to them that you have been buying illegal drugs. So, if you look out your back door, they will be arriving very shortly.
Thanks, Harry.
You're welcome. So, Ben, I have ADHD or ADD. I'm not sure what it is, whatever. So I've experimented with all of them, and what I found is I've started only taking Adderall whenever I feel like I'm gaining weight and I need to stop eating, because whenever I'm on these drugs, I don't eat. Does that happen to you, Ben?
Absolutely. I don't use these drugs. I don't want the DA to find out, Harry. You already reported me.
DEA, not District Attorney, Drug Enforcement Agency.
My bad.
It's okay.
But, thanks.
Ben,
But
why do you
absolutely-
take that caller off hold? Let's see who we got.
No, disconnected. 1 second.
What do you mean?
The call disconnected.
Okay, so whoever that
If
was
you were calling, call back.
Yeah, if you were calling, please call back. We're sorry that we didn't pick up, but when you're talking about Adderall, you got to stay on topic, and I'm actually not on it right now, so there was a slight chance that I'd get off track. Exactly. So now that we're talking about finals week, now's a big time where people are emailing their professors and saying, "Can I get extra points?" And I think that I've really.
Here's the call. Here's the call. Hello, this is Ben and Harry. What's up?
Hey, this is a girlfriend.
Hey, girlfriend, what's up?
Okay, Sam.
Hey, so
this is Ben's girlfriend.
I had to call, to clarify a couple things. I wasn't planning on calling, but things seem to be getting out of hand. So, I mean, first of all, Harry, I'm really sorry to hear about your experience. Sounds really traumatic in the gym.
Thank you very much.
It's also like sort of a weird reception. I can't really hear you guys. So I just have to sort of talk through this. It's very delayed. Anyways, I just wanted to tell the listeners I really appreciated the relationship concern. But Ben and I are like pretty open about the Eva thing. It's something I've known about, and I understand it. So thanks for the concern, but we're good with that.
Well,
right,
Sam, Sam, I want to keep you on air for a second. Sam, I have one question for you, okay? And this is a yes or no answer, and...
The reception's really terrible, but also last thing, some BS with the toothbrushing, it's electric.
All right, thanks for calling. Goodbye.
That's what my, well, we really need to work on our connection, and, you guys can't see me right now, but I am fuming about the connection. I'm very unhappy with,
I'm flustered.
What?
Absolutely flustered over here.
Yeah, I'm not happy, but, Sam did confirm that, and, I wanted to make it more dramatic, but Ben, you have lost all trust of any of our listeners. So...
What do you mean? How
you
so?
told us, and I will confirm with the millions of listeners all around the globe, that you do not use an electric toothbrush. Now you say you do.
I never said I use an electric toothbrush.
We're not going to talk about this anymore, but I would like a written statement of apology from you.
Electric toothbrush. Goodbye.
I would like a written statement of apology from you, and I think the listeners would like that for you to read on air next week. Do you think we can get that from you?
Absolutely not, because I don't use an electric toothbrush. I'm not going to answer any more questions about this.
Okay, so what we're talking about is emailing professors, asking for extra points, and I've really become a master of emailing professors.
I've never asked for extra points.
Well, maybe you should. Maybe you should.
Let me hear your strategy.
So, what I do is I try to have as little substance as possible in my email and just all fluff. Like, you know what, I learned so much in your class, and really taught me. I kind of have the same platform. I don't know if I'd be the man I am today if I didn't have your class, and it's really, I make it very emotional to them, and it probably works 8% of the time, but I wanted to know if you had any advice for anyone about emailing professors and the quest to get extra points.
I completely agree with you. Some teachers eat that shit up. Like, you always just have to be, like, extremely nice to them, tell them that how beneficial their class has been to your academic experience, and I feel like if you're nice to them like that, they favor you in terms of grades, especially if you're writing a paper where it's not like math, where there's like not one right answer. I feel like they give you the benefit of the doubt and they give you a better grade.
That's really good advice, Ben, and I advise all of our listeners to heed that advice that Ben gave about just be kind. Love is the word. Love is the word. Love is the word. You know what? Actually, quick distraction. I'm going to go a little off base. I actually got pulled over a few weeks ago, and the officer said, you were speeding. And I was just really polite, really nice, kind of pretended to be a little nervous, and I got off scotch-free. So just some advice that I've learned from... I know very little. Just let me preface it with I know very little, almost nothing. But one of the things I do know is kindness is better than meanness. And that should be a slogan.
Absolutely, I like it. Kindness is better than meanness. Yes, I like it a lot. Harry, when you're emailing a professor, what's your favorite how do you end your emails? What's your favorite slogan at the end?
So I've gone through a lot of phases. That's a good question. I've gone through a lot of phases. I went through the regards phase. I went through the thank you very much phase. I went through the sincerely phase. And the phase I'm currently in is best.
Yeah. I like best. Best regards. That's me.
Oh, best regards. That's
what I do. I do best,
but best regards.
Right, that's what I do. I suggest it to you.
What do you do?
I'm saying I suggest that you start using that.
What was the second word that you said?
I don't know.
I was trying to make you say suggest again. We're having a little difficulty.
Suggest.
One more time.
Blah. Blah.
One more time.
Suggest.
Okay, worse than the first few times. So, Ben, I want to do a promotion for a good friend of mine, and I want to say that they are not paying us, but this is a personal experience that I had, and I want to give a promotion to Great Clips. Ben, do you mind if I tell a story giving a promotion to Great Clips?
I want to hear it.
Are you okay with me doing an unpaid promotion? Because I know you're a big capitalist, and you're upset that they're not paying us, and I'm doing a promotion for them.
I'll get over it. I'm interested to hear.
So, Ben, about Tuesday, which is yesterday, I was sitting at the library, right? Sitting at the library across from this very, very pretty girl. Let's call her Jessica, right? Sitting across the library from Jessica. I'm doing my work. She's doing her work. I pretend I didn't have a pen. I go, hey, you think I could borrow a pen? She goes, yeah, sure. I go, thank you so much. That's so sweet. So you could see I got game already. You could tell I got a lot of game.
Smooth.
Yeah, very smooth. You could tell I got a lot of game. And I'm talking to Jessica and whatever, and she goes, she says to me, she goes, did you recently get a haircut? So I did. Thank you so much for noticing. She goes, well, that haircut looks so good. It must have cost you hundreds of dollars. Did you go to a salon? Did you talk to Paul Mitchell? Did he cut your hair? And I go, Jessica, you cannot be further from the truth. I got my haircut for $7 at Great Clips. Let me tell you something, Ben. Jessica was floored. Not floored, she was surprised. She fell to the floor. She said, shut the front door. That is monkey business. And I said, Jessica, this is not monkey business. Great Clips, for this week only, is giving $7 haircuts. Now, usually I go to Great Clips for my $14 haircuts, but I went in there on Monday, and they go, you know what? $7 haircut for you, $7 haircut for you, $7 haircut for you, and I can tell you it made my week. So if you're looking for a haircut and you want to find your own Jessica, go to Great Clips and get your $7 haircut. It's easy, beautiful. Great Clips, not CoverGirl.
Wonderful promo. That was well done. I actually just got a haircut yesterday, and I did not spend $7, unfortunately. I have a huge issue, actually. I don't have a consistent barber that I go to.
That's a major issue.
Yeah, it is, because every time I go to a new barber, I'm always a little bit nervous to get a haircut because I don't know what they're going to do. I'm never happy with my haircut, and yesterday I go into the salon. It's not even a regular barbershop, it's a salon. I went fancy here. And I told them to stop my hair.
Ben,
Yo.
You gotta slow down. The connection is it's so shitty.
Speaking pretty slow. They must be...
And I hate to fight on air, because I know our viewers, I know our listeners hate to see us fight, because they think of me and you as, like, the perfect couple. They think of us as Neil Patrick Harris and his wife, or John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. I'm Chrissy Teigen. And they think of us like that, and when they see us fighting on air due to poor connection, they think that it's something about our personal connection. But I just wanted to reassure everyone, and please listen to this. Listen to this very closely. Our connection is only based on the internet. Our real bond is stronger than you can imagine. You ever seen that episode of Drake and Josh when they go to that Chinese guy and he puts their fingers together and they can't break them out because the bond is so strong? That's what our relationship is like. We're better than Drake and Josh, but we're like that bond that they met in that Chinese guy. I'm
just happy this is our last online show. So that our last long distance show.
Yeah, I've actually had a really hard time being away from you. It's
long distance is tough, man.
Yeah, everyone always says long distance is easy. It's podcasters could do long distance together. Everyone always applies the long distance dilemma to boyfriend girlfriend. But what about podcasters? I mean, can we get a break? Can we get some representation?
Yeah, people always forget about us, man.
Yeah. The white podcaster is not recognized in society, and it's really not fair.
I want change. I demand change.
So, Ben, what I can assume that you were saying is you have a hard time finding a barber, and there's a very interesting situation. My father, I don't know if you know my father. My father's name is Greg.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Great man. Really good guy. Genuine guy, but he's put himself in a pickle. Not a kosher dill pickle, but a situational pickle.
Let me hear.
So my father has been going to the same barber named Tony for years and years and years, and he doesn't have a ton of hair, so it's not much work anyway, but he's very proud of his hair. He loves his hair. But he is scared to go to another barber because he thinks that if he goes to another barber, Tony is going to find out. How would you advise my father to deal with the situation?
I would say stick it out. My favorite professor at school says cheating on your barber is worse than cheating on your wife. So people definitely have strong connections with their barber. So I would tell your dad to stick it out with your barber, and he's gonna start picking it up. If you're unhappy with his work, let him know.
Yeah, but I don't think when you're with someone for that long, it's like a marriage, right? I mean, I think my dad is in 2 marriages, one to my mother and one to Tony, his barber. And I think that scared to talk against Tony because he doesn't want there to be a fight. And Tony has scissors, and he's scared about that. You think he should be scared, or he should speak up if there's an issue?
I could understand why he's scared if he is holding his scissors or whatnot, but communication in any relationship is the key to any successful relationship. And I think we should start preaching that at Podcast University, that communication is key.
So, whatever, we're not going to get into the Eva Longoria thing again, because repetitiveness is sometimes funny, but I think at this moment in time, I'm not going to go down that avenue. So, Ben, you and I have a date next week, and I couldn't be more excited. Do you want to tell everyone about our date?
Absolutely. We are going to Boston for Game 5 of the Celtics-Wizards series at TD Garden.
Ben and I are going to drive up to Boston from New Jersey, and we're going to go to a basketball game, and then we're going to stay at his apartment and then drive back to New Jersey. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, that sounds fine, that sounds okay, whatever, but Ben and I, before we committed to this plan, we said, are you a good road trip companion? Am I okay being in the car for 8 hours with you? The first thing I said to Ben is, I go, Ben, I know you love your beans, but I cannot have you eating beans the night before we go, because I really do not want to deal with your gas. And Ben said, that's very okay, and I promise you I won't eat beans.
We were open about it. Like I said before, Harry, we practice what we preach. Communication is key to any successful relationship.
So, Ben, why don't you tell me some of your rules? Because we only talked about the farting before, but we said we'd save the rest for the air. So, what kind of music do you think is good to play on road trips? And just so we're clear, if you have incorrect answers, I may have to cancel our date.
Oh, I'm nervous now. I'm open to any type of music as long as both people agree. I know you are a big Drake guy, so I'm assuming we're going to be listening to a lot of Drake, and I'm totally okay with that. I like that. If it's nice out, I like to have the windows down a lot of the time, too.
What would you think about me playing the Hamilton mixtape?
I'm not that familiar with it, but I think you told me that Ja Rule is in it, or I don't know if you're messing around.
No, Ja Rule is in it. Yes, he is.
Hamilton is on Broadway, right?
Hamilton is on Broadway. Yeah.
Why is Ja Rule? Why is Ja? But I knew that, but why?
So this is the mixtape. So they made a mixtape of all the songs, and they had like real people singing. So they had John Legend, Ja Rule, Ashanti.
Wow.
I could look, who else? Busta Rhymes, Jimmy Fallon, I don't know any of the other people. Wiz Khalifa.
That sounds interesting. I'd definitely be down to give it a listen.
So,
I'm pretty diverse with my music, and I think you are too.
Yeah, I am pretty diverse with my music. So, Ben, you and I, at least I don't think, are going to be fooling around in the car. Fooling around, not talking about fooling around, but fooling around, talking about getting a little FRISKY I don't know if I spelled frisky correctly, but that's what I mean. We're not going to be getting a little frisky in the car, but have you ever gotten frisky with a partner in the car? And are you able to do that? And do you think you're good at it?
What? What does that mean?
Have you ever fooled around with a companion in the car while either driving or not driving? And do you think that fooling around in the car is a good way to show affection?
If you're driving, I don't recommend fooling around in the car. Have I done it? I'm here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, so Ben's here so he doesn't get fined. So before I answer this question, I want to preface it with I'm very recluse. Recluse. I'm a reckless driver. So
Recluse.
I think, recluse would.
Yeah.
I'm a reckless driver, so I have to focus on myself, and having to focus on another person, I have a lot of trouble with. So if someone, guy, girl, whatever, tries to hold my hand in the car, and I'm a big hand holder, I'll hold hands with anyone. If someone tries to hold hands with me, I'll do it for a little bit, and then, I'm a big intertwining guy, and they want to do just not intertwining, and I'm not going to half-ass hand-holding, because I hate people who half-ass hand-holding. If you and I are going to hold hands, we're going to do it intertwining, right? It's intimate, it shows a lot. So, and also, if you're in the back seat, I'm a pretty tall guy, and it probably takes me 5 to 10 minutes to get comfortable in the back seat, and by the time I'm comfortable, I'm already pretty frustrated.
What, are you kicking the chair and shit?
I'm kicking people, I'm kicking the chair, and I get very frustrated, and I end up probably stepping out of the car and running on a treadmill and falling.
Who's driving to Boston, by the way? I think it's got to be me.
Well, I thought we were taking my car.
Yeah, but I'll drive.
You're not going to drive my Ford Escape 2015, safest car on the market. Ford Escape 2015, safest car on the market. You will not be driving that, Benjamin, and that is final. So, Ben, why don't we get into some of the questions?
We'll see about that.
Why don't we get into some of the questions that we were asked tonight? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
You are okay with that.
So, do it. Let's do it.
Our first question came all the way from London. Wow.
Zowie.
Are getting a question from London, and this is going to be the first clean question, and depending on how this goes, maybe we'll get into his inappropriate question that Brandon asked us. So, Brandon from London. You think he's got an accent? Think he's got a British accent?
I'm going to go with no.
I actually heard
I have a feeling he's studying abroad.
I heard that he got in a fight with the Queen, and she beat the crap out of him. Did you hear that?
I heard that too.
I heard he went into the Queen. He goes, "Hey girl, you a queen?" And she goes, "Who are you?" And smacked him.
Or advice from Podcast University: don't fuck with the Queen.
Don't freak with the Queen. We don't curse around royalty, Ben. You know that. So, Brandon asked the question. He goes, Jim Harbaugh took a nothing Stanford program and created it to the Pac-12 powerhouse. He then took the 49ers from one of the worst franchises in the league to a Super Bowl. P.S. We know where they are now that they left. And he has seemed to revive a Michigan football team that was subpar into an elite program. A program that was an inch away from the shot at the Big Ten title in the national championship. And a program that had the most NFL draft picks this most recent year. Is he the best football coach on the planet right now, not including Bill Belichick? Ben, what do you think?
No. First of all, when he was coaching Stanford, it was the Pac-10. I just felt the need to say that. And he's definitely one of the top coaches in college football, but I'm not going to say he's the best. A couple names come in mind before his. I would say Nick Saban is definitely number one. Alabama is consistently the best program in the country, always the favorites to win the national championship, and a lot of that because of him and his great job recruiting. And the second name that comes to mind is Urban Meyer. also just a fantastic football coach. So Harbaugh is definitely making his way up, but I'm going to say he's not the best.
Ben, I would agree with you. I think Brandon from London probably has a connection to Michigan, right? Maybe his brother went there or something. I'm not sure. So I'm assuming Brandon from London with the accent and the guy who got smacked by the Queen probably has a connection to Michigan. And I think he wants us to recognize Harbaugh as a great coach. And Brandon, I do recognize him as a great coach. Don't get me wrong. I just think he needs more hardware to be in the conversation with Saban and Meyer.
Yeah, he hasn't really won at the highest level. He's come close of winning. They almost made the Final Four this year. He didn't make the Super Bowl, did he? He was with the Niners.
They did make the Super Bowl.
Did they?
Yes,
but he didn't win.
With the guy who loves the national anthem. What's his name?
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I heard he's gonna actually come on our show next week. So don't miss this. Colin Kaepernick is coming on our show next week and singing the national anthem. You're probably
we already had John Mayer.
We already had John Mayer sing the national anthem. Here's a quick peek of John Mayer. Daughters. Daughters. That was John Mayer,
to do this. We like to invite guests on our podcast, and in the middle of the show, they just randomly sing the national anthem.
Yeah,
pretty great.
Exactly. It's not at the beginning, because a lot of people think the national anthem has to start off a game, but we're all about national anthem at the 37-minute mark. So we're talking about a topic, and Kaepernick's just going to jump right in. Oh, say, can you see?
We advise them to cut us off. We're never expecting it, and we're always amazed.
And that
last time Harrison he actually started crying because he was so emotionally involved in the anthem.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ben, I was also a mess when John Mayer came on our show last week and sang, "Daughters." Sounds great, doesn't it? He really does sound great.
Yeah, that was impressive. I was very happy with his performance.
Yeah, I was also happy with his performance. He kind of sounded like me, but he sounded great. Brandon asked another question, and Ben, you've read this question. Do you think this question is appropriate for the air?
It's tough. I think we can revise it a little bit. Even though the way he worded it was hilarious. So shout out to Brandon, but I don't know if we can read it directly.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon from London. Seems like a really good guy. If Brandon, if you're ever in the States, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. I know you're having a great time with all your scones in London and taking the tube. Mind the gap, please. Mind the gap, please. But if you ever come to Colin Kaepernick's homeland, give us a call. We'd love to meet you. So Brandon asked the question, and I'm going to revise it a little bit just because I don't know if we have the clout on the radio station yet to read some of the vulgarity that Brandon wrote.
But, I agree.
But Brandon wrote, would you let Mike Tyson presently, take a clean shot at your face in order to have intercourse with Margot Robbie after she was with Leonardo DiCaprio? Ben, this situation is, you don't have a girlfriend, would you allow Mike Tyson to punch you in the face if you could sleep with Margot Robbie after she slept with Leonardo DiCaprio? And Brandon made sure to send me a follow-up email that this punch would not induce death, that you'd still be alive.
Yep. So what I was thinking was, if I wasn't if I wasn't seriously injured, I would say yes, because you kind of get the best of both worlds.
No, Ben, you're answering the question before. You're not. It's not if I wasn't significantly injured. You can't have it, based on a presumption.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say that I'm not seriously injured. I would say that I really hurt, but I don't have serious injuries like a broken jaw or something like that. Is that fair to assume or no?
You will have a mark on your face for the rest of your life after this punch. But you will also be able to put on your resume that you slept with the sexiest woman alive. And you were telling me you were having trouble with your resume, so this is a good one to put on it.
Yeah. And I think I could pull off, like sometimes it's like a battle wound looks cool and people are impressed by it. But, you know what I mean? Sometimes people pull off that look. So I'm going to say yes, because you can say that you were punched in the face by Mike Tyson and that you're okay, but you have a permanent bruise there, and that you get to sleep with Margot Robbie. Let me hear, what's your answer?
I'm yes, and I'm just saying a quick... Actually, no, I'm no, because... You know what? I'm really handsome, and I don't want to allow anyone to touch my face. And I just feel like the modeling agency and everyone will be upset with me if I allow my face to get touched. So, it's just there's too much liability for me. So before we go, I want to get to our friend AD Bunn's question, and AD actually wrote this from Augusta National, the golf course. He's currently hiding on the golf course, attempting to play a hole, but they've caught him every time he's tried to get on 16. But AD asked, and I'm going to go through this quick because we're getting... Actually, you know what? AD, we loved your question, and we loved it so much that we're going to push it to next week and devote a whole 5-minute segment to it because we only have 2 minutes left, and I don't want to half-ass answer your question, and I'm assuming Ben feels something the same.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that we couldn't get to it. I'm a little bit embarrassed, to be honest. We should have got to it, but we'll start it off next week with your question.
Ben, do you want to apologize about your connection?
No, because I'm not convinced it was me.
I promise you it was you.
Alright, well, either way, we won't have any more issues going forward, and I'm very pumped about that.
Exactly. If you had any issues, buy some ibuprofen, buy some Advil, buy some Tylenol, and send us the receipt. Maybe we'll reimburse you if our connection issues cause you any migraines or headaches. Lastly, like we said at the beginning of the episode, if Lucas's invasion of porn into your timeline caused you any mental, or I've heard some cases of physical harm where people actually hit themselves in the head and they were so shocked and appalled at what they saw, please call us. We are here to help with Lucas's issues and everything that he caused.
Yeah. Completely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, you sound like you're still not even over it.
I'm flustered as hell. Lucas really got me in a uncomfortable state of mind.
A New York state of mind?
No, uncomfortable.
What's the difference between a New York...
It's the disconnection.
No, I think you're terrible. I'm kidding, Ben.
I think you're terrible.
Well, before we end, I think we're closing up at 30 seconds. I'm just going to tell you a few things that are on my desk, just so you guys can get to know me a little better. I have some Robitussin, some cologne, bag of Fritos from last week that I finished and still been thrown out, some sweating medication, a candle, gel, a lot of loose papers, a glove without a match for another glove. Ben, anything on your desk interesting to our viewers to get them to know you a little better?
No. So there's nothing really around. You get to know me better because you know I'm moving.
Yes, so, next week, next Wednesday, same time, 7 o'clock, Ben and I are going to be on, and we're actually preparing remember the We Are the World 25 for Haiti, where they were raising money for Haiti? Ben and I are going to be doing a telethon raising money for Ben's connection on his computer. I'm waiting for our producer to give us the